What is going on, everyone? Badger here. Should have like and sub, and let's get into this. Assassin's Creed Shadows draws nearer and nearer, and with that will come the push to try and push past all the negative press and aura surrounding it, not the least of which, of course, is the character of Yasuke and his, let's just say, his upgrade to full-blown samurai status from what, even in the best of interpretations, he was just an oddity and a bodyguard and a not even a sword carrier. We'll get into it. So, Assassin's Creed Shadows art director responds to Elon Musk and other criticisms of the games. Let's see if some of those, because amongst those have been using Chinese architecture in what should have been a Japanese Edo period, using obviously a loose interpretation of samurai, even though we find out now that samurai is not just a profession, but it's a culture, and there's many different levels of samurai, and that's sort of where we get with this one. So this all comes from back in June when Ian Miles Chong posted, should Ubisoft delay Assassin's Creed Shadows in response to widespread backlash over the game's injection of DEI? The game is so thoroughly woke that it features a black gay protagonist depicted as a real historical samurai in Japan. Offensive beyond belief, no one asked for. And that's, of course, when Elon says DEI kills art. Now, he said that many times, and also that they're shackles of how can you create a project when you have to hit all these different check boxes in order to get your score in the correct way, to get ESG money, environmental social governance money. From these woke investment firms like a BlackRock or a State Street or a Vanguard, blah, 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 because if you find out, it's very expensive to make video games. So rather than relying on that modern audience that doesn't exist, or rely on us, those hateful white bigots that they think everyone is, even if they're not even white, you get lumped in. They rely on the other type of funding, which leads us to DEI-filled things like making your underage female assassin character also lesbian. Just a thing they do. Assassin's Creed Shadows boss Mark Alexis Coif responded. So that's the first one. Before we get into the actual lead designer here, told Game Files that the tweet generated emotions, that the first thing I wanted to do was go back. Yeah, this is the one where he got emotional damage basically by Elon saying what he said. He believes that players will be convinced of whatever his team's point of view is within the first 15 minutes of the game. He continued, what Elon says is not the game that we're building. People will have to play the game for themselves. And within the first 11 minutes and 45 seconds, they are not convinced of what we're doing. We can have that discussion. Okay. I'm reviewing the game very recently, and I was like, the answer is there. I just hope and wish that people can keep an open mind about this. It's an Assassin's Creed game, and I believe the best one we've ever built. Well, of course, you're going to be saying that. Numerous others have criticized the game as well. Yeah, we've had multiple Japanese YouTubers talk about it. The biggest thing the Japanese audience is upset about is the fact that when they're calling out the fact that this is purported to be historically accurate, and it's not, and even though they say they historical fiction, they always tried to put that fiction within the framework of actual history, i.e., characters like Napoleon looked like Napoleon and did things that historically Napoleon did. They didn't insert a new DEI character. And so now we have that lead designer here, Dan Saru, addressed these criticisms, telling the outlet, of course we're making creative choices. It's a video game in the end, so we want to make the best experience of possible for our players. We worked a lot with experts. Oh yeah, the two experts, the two historians that have since been discredited, one for being a communist trying to push Eastern culture on Western audiences, and we know how they do that, see localizers, and the other one basically discredited as falsifying, lying his interpretation while saying it was objectively true about Yasuke. Though many a journal were written, and his all of his statements came from one journal that was ambiguously translated. So those are their experts, yeah. Not to mention also the sex expert, so they could do the fine tunes of having LGBTQ representation in ancient Japan. We've worked with a lot of experts to just understand, well, the time period. We did a lot of our own work, so we're making sure we depict this world in a respectful way while fulfilling the gameplay needs and making it entertaining. Yeah, big black dude in samurai armor going around swinging, killing Japanese people. Very respectful. We've worked with Osaka and Tokyo studios who acted as consultants. One of their art directors is involved and doing research in the field. Oh, then why did they put Chinese lanterns in it? Because they missed that one. We went there. We did a field trip as well. Yeah, their field trip. Also addressing the statement was a letter published by Ubisoft apologizing to the group of people in Japan. But something they need to know is we are working with experts, world-renowned experts. And if we have in any way offended people, we are sorry. That is not the goal. We've paid a lot of attention to stay as respectful as possible. I guess they're just going to ignore all the other things that we've talked about. And yeah, they, of course, think they're giving the best game ever. And, you know, first 10 minutes, I guess, they think that will be taken away and we'll think it's great. But the end result here is it looks like word of mouth has gotten around. We saw this from Stuttering Craig that his insider friend has said that who works at a nationwide big box chain that less than 800 pre-orders combined for Xbox and PS5. They have over 900 stores, less than 800. Yeah, less than one pre-order per store. So I don't know. Word of mouth is not great for all the different reasons. Beyond the fact that even before this, just Ubisoft games, specifically Assassin's Creed, has stagnated. They've done the same thing over and over again. Big bloated worlds that take far too long to get to the actual meat of the story, and then it's just a couple hours worth of content that most people don't even finish or get to. So yeah, let me know. Are you gonna be picking up Assassin's Creed Shadows? You think you'll be sold, or are you like me and you can wait? You can wait a good long time, if ever, to play it, because that's where I am. Yeah, sure to like, share, and sub. If you have done that, thank you. If you're going to do that, thank you. Well,
bye.